Hello, everyone. Welcome to a live episode of The Copy Corner here with your host, Terry Schilling, and
Dan Marzullo.
Yes, this is our little corner of the internet where we like to share copywriting and content writing tips to make you a better writer, communicator, marketer, and grow this business that you enjoy. And we are live, like we said, we are live on LinkedIn and on YouTube, but we also, a lot of you guys are listening on the podcast as well. So if you guys do check out the podcast and you want to join the conversation live, join the conversation live. That's really a trendy phrase that I don't like using, but it just came out naturally. You guys can follow Terry Schilling Creative on YouTube or follow Dan or I on LinkedIn, and you guys can hang out with us there. We do these live every Monday before we launch the podcast. But today, Dan, the topic, as a lot of you guys can already see, the 4 essentials for writing interesting headlines. So, one of the biggest things, what is the headline? How is it going to grab attention? You hear the stat a lot of people have 5 seconds when they land on a website to get their attention before they go somewhere else. So the headline is super important. So we're going to break down 4 essentials to help you write a better headline. And Dan, I'll let you start with number 1.
All right. Thanks, Terry. Number 1 here, what we've got in the books for you is relevancy. There's several reasons that this is important, right? Like obviously you want to avoid the clickbaity stuff and you want a relevant headline to the article. Don't just say something flashy and crazy to try and drive clicks. First, you're going to piss off your reader, right? They're going to click on it and go, what the heck is this? And never read anything that you write ever again. Don't lie to the reader, number 1. And number 2 for relevancy is from a Google standpoint, like your headline and your article, they need to match, they need to be relevant for SEO benefits. If they don't, you're going to get penalized and you're not even going to show up and drive any inbound traffic anyway. So just make sure that it's relevant. That's my first one, Terry.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have expectations when they click an ad or click like a link on a site and go to the article or website. It should be relevant to what they're looking for to keep their attention. But to follow up with that, if you do keep it relevant, which you should, number 2 would be to don't sell, tell them. So tell them what's possible. So selling would just be like $35 flight to Jacksonville, which sounds enticing, right? Of course, but why don't you tell them what's possible? So there's an ad that I like to use. It's an old ad from this agency. They have one guy holding up a sign where it's to Jacksonville, which it says underneath it, it's sales. And there's another picture where it says marketing. And the sign, instead of saying Jacksonville, it says to mom's house for Christmas. So that's what I mean when I say tell them what's possible. So it's like get a content strategy for less than $40 a month. Well, telling them something that's interesting to them could just be more on the lines of, get traffic to build a business you love, right? Instead of just the ultimate pitch with the price right away. So tell, don't sell. And then I'll go right into number 3 here, Dan. And that's, don't worry about length, because you may look and read a lot of articles that talk about keep your headline around 5 to 6 words or so many characters. But if you go into that mindset right away, you're limiting yourself to what you can write. It's like, I got to say something in 5 words. A better exercise is to write all like the key benefits and key points that your product or service, why it helps people, and then start breaking that down into one clear sentence, right? So just focus on writing a compelling message that is going to get attention and keep it. And then ultimately is going to lead to the customer trusting you. Because again, if you write it too short, you may be trying to get too clever, and just make sure that you write a clear headline first. And don't worry so much about, making it so short. Sometimes a little bit longer, a headline can offer a lot of benefits and keep the attention.
Awesome, Terry. Love it. And number 4 to wrap this one up here is make sure that headline is benefit driven, right? I want to know when I'm scrolling Google or however it is that I'm finding your content, what I'm going to get out of that, because I'm limited on time. And the only reason I'm clicking your article is to learn something or get the answer to the question I didn't have, right? So if you're not telling me right in the headline, here's what you're going to know by the end of this, right? Then I'm not reading it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like tell them, like promise them something, right? And then the rest of the body of the website, offer, article, can fulfill that promise. I love it. The benefit driven, it's like the foundation of all the essentials, but again, keep it benefit driven. Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, that's it, Terry.
That's it. Awkward pause. We have to have that in every show. But yeah, everyone, those are our 4 essentials for writing interesting headlines. And if you can master these four, if you just have these four going into it, you're going to have a really good start to making money, getting more customers, getting some fans, just having some success selling and marketing yourself online. But yeah, that's what we got today. Dan, again, anything else before we go? We're at 5 minutes, dude. We're doing this is a good one. A lot of value packed up here.
It's a lightning round right here, Terry.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, all right, everybody. That's all we got. Thank you so much for watching live, listening to the podcast. As always, please subscribe, download on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. Leave a review as well. We love seeing those, and we love giving shout outs on the show too. But yeah, again, follow Dan and I on LinkedIn and Instagram. We're active there, sharing some other tips. But as always, Dan and everybody listening, love what you do. Proceed with passion. We will see you on the next episode of The Copy Corner.